Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Freightbrokerchic. I'm Yvonne, your host of Freightbrokerchic, Yvonne Little. And today, the last time we were on, I had Dexter Levette, who is the trainer, my mentor, longtime mentor, and friend. And so wanted to bring him back on because we're starting a new year. And with the new year, the forecast with 2021 going into that, there's a lot of naysayers, a lot of doom and gloom out there about the forecast for the transportation industry. And he's been, as he said, he's been in the industry for a minute. So this is not his first rodeo. And so I wanted him to come on and share with you a little bit about his professional opinion on the outlook of the industry and where we may be headed. Is all this naysaying true? And but to just maybe encourage some of you who have said, well, I'm kind of on the fence as to whether or not I should even get into logistics at this point.
Well, logistics has always been a recession-proof industry, regardless of what the economy might be doing, up, down, or even stock market crashes. Um, Transportation is always there. Freight has to move. Goods must be delivered. Food must be delivered. Fuel must be delivered. Building materials, medicines, pharmaceutical goods, clothing, cars, the list goes on. Just because a civilization might be experiencing a temporary setback doesn't mean that it stops. I mean, even now, flights are still going around. So if flights are going around, some of the transportation to get the people to the actual airport is still there. Uber is still around. So if you look around, transportation still is there. It might have had to taken a couple more precautions because of the coronavirus, but the coronavirus won't stop civilization and it won't stop transportation. Now, if there are some, how can I put it, carriers out there that are in a weak position, or if their customer base is slowed down with shipping, yeah, there's going to be some carriers that might go out of business because of this.
So you think it's more of their sector or market?
Well, it depends on what they're actually moving. You know, if something, if let's just say they were a restaurant supply company. Well, if there's no restaurants really being open and they're cutting back on their foods because people can't dine as they used to, maybe that might have affected their restaurant delivery business where they're not putting out as much freight and they might have to let a couple of workers go or scale back. But as long as those restaurants are still open, even in the lower capacity, that means that they'll still be there to provide the services that the restaurants might need. I think it's depending on the type of industry that you're in. If you're in the industry, in the service industry, and you are in transportation that supply the service industry, say like hotel chains or restaurant chains, you might actually see a fluctuation in your business. But if you are a company that working for a company that delivers personal protective equipment, PPE, well, you're probably booming right now because all the medical professionals around the country and the world are trying to find more PPE to protect them against the coronavirus. So I think that the slowdowns, one sector might slow down here, but for another sector, it might actually speed up.
So maybe diversifying, or
Right.
if you can.
If you can,
Okay.
you know, I'll play this, who knew that the vaccine that was going to be used for the coronavirus had to be kept at 145 degrees below zero.
Right.
All of a sudden, dry ice companies can't keep enough dry ice.
Right.
You know, but 6 months ago, a dry ice company might be close to going out of business because nobody was using dry ice. So as I said, it just comes and goes and changes from time to time. But overall, transportation is a recession-proof industry. Trucks don't stop moving as long as there's civilization. Civilization needs to be serviced, and we need to get our goods. I mean, water's needed, clothes are needed, medicines are needed, and the only way, everything that you have in your house, everything that you have owned, was brought to you by a truck. From your refrigerator to the chair you're sitting on, to the clothes you're wearing, to the food that you eat, a truck brought it. It's not just, everything's just not naturally occurring. So yeah, think that early on in 2021, I think as the more people get vaccinated and more businesses start building their normal capacities back up, I think that the fluctuations in the actual supply chain network will start to dissipate and go back to normal. I think that's what everybody is waiting for.
Right.
But until then, yeah, but there's never a bad time to get into logistics. There's never a bad time to get into transportation because somebody always needs something to be moved.
Gotcha. Well, there you heard it from the expert. Never a bad time to get into transportation. One other thing I wanted to cover real quick with you is the social media aspect. When you and I started years ago in our sales career, there was no internet. I mean, you made phone calls, you were able to stop and call on potential customers, leave your business cards, any flyers and information. Social media has kind of, to some degree, put a little bit of a halt. I mean, it's kind of a two-edged sword where it has opened up so many more avenues. Some people, I do get a lot of questions about, well, how am I going to get customers? Because there's always, that gatekeeper that they're struggling to get past in companies today. So just real quick, we're still grinding on the phones, but just wanted to get your take on what avenues may be open to them right now to kind of say, hey, you can't personally call on people, but there are some other things that we can do to help gain customers, because we are gaining customers. I mean, there are ways to do it.
Well, I mean, there's always social media as far as LinkedIn, which is a professional interactive website for working professionals. It's full of traffic managers. You could actually send a request out to traffic managers to befriend them on LinkedIn. They hit you back. You can start a conversation, send them over information through LinkedIn about your actual company. Even with just using the internet to hunt down different companies as far as information on them. So as my mom used to say, there's always more than one way to skin a cat.
Gotcha.
It just depends on what works best for you. If you're a person who's very internet savvy, I would look at using LinkedIn as a major platform to reach out to actual traffic managers if you are trying to find new customers. Statistics and research show that reaching out through social media to potential customers has become very effective. Almost increases your sales potential by almost 30%.
Awesome.
But there's
So you
still
heard it first here.
there's still the old-fashioned way of just going on and getting on the phone and making a sales phone call and trying to talk to a traffic manager and work it up that way.
Okay.
Before there was media, there was just being social. And being social is actually talking to another person, trying to sell your goods and services to them and showing them that you're proficient in what you're actually trying to do as far as an actual transportation professional, and give them the kind of service that they're going to expect that they get from all other companies. So as long as you can get in there and compete, I don't see a problem with it. But some people like social media. I mean, I myself, I'm old school. I like to get on the telephone and actually call, but I do use the internet to actually hunt for different types of companies that I do approach. But hey, if social media is your thing, use it. It cannot hurt.
Okay. One last important thing, I get a lot. Do I really need training? There are people telling individuals, they can just go to the website and, get a MC number, get their bond, get their insurance, get an EIN number, and bam, you're a broker, you're in business. And so, and the other thing is you can watch YouTube videos and learn how to be a broker. Now, I'm not opposed to YouTube because, as you can see, I do YouTube videos. And until I met Dexter and began to train with Dexter, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. But let me tell you something. It did not teach me how to be a broker. So I just wanted you to speak on that. Just a quick minute on the importance of training.
Well, if that was the case, they could just show doctors how to perform operations with video and not let them actually operate on cadavers.
Great point.
My thing is that You can put a lot of instructional things on a video, but it's different when you're actually doing it.
Okay.
And
Yes.
mentoring is one of those things that when you have a question about how to handle a customer or how to handle a situation that might come up, you don't know what to do unless, I mean, point blank, so let's just say you're moving a hazmat load and it's hydrofluoric acid at 70%, and all of a sudden the tanker is moving through a town and actually has a leak, and starts leaking out hazardous material. Does a video tell you to call Chemtrex and actually report the actual spill to the national service for hazmat containment? Does it tell you to call back to the carrier and try to get the things necessary to make sure that you have the protective equipment? You don't get all that in a video.
Okay.
You have to learn that through going through the process of going through certain situations.
Gotcha. All right, folks. Well, you heard it here first. Again, do be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button to follow us. And again, the notification bell, make sure it's solid. So anytime we publish another video, we'll be doing more of these for you guys. It's what you asked for, that you'll get a notification every time a video goes up. So I just want to thank Dexter again for his time to come on and help us. And like I said, anytime I can get him, I'm going to bring him on here and share with you guys how great this industry is. We're looking for great things in 2021. We are not the naysayers. We're not, we're not pie in the sky, but we're saying if you apply the principles that he teaches and work it like with diligence, that you will see results. And so that's what we're here to help you do. Our next training is January 12th, 2021. Again, January 12th, 2021. It is filling up fast, so please hit me up on social media. I'll leave my information in the comments. And thank you again, and we will see you again next time on Freight Broker Chic. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.